And welcome back to another episode of Yeah, I Said It. Mike, Ben, and Jack. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good,
Can't complain, sir. Can't complain.
Okay, well, we have a champion in the world of HBCU football, Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, we do have a champion in the world of HBCU.
Prairie didn't win.
No, Prairie View didn't win, but the SWAC did. So we'll take that for this year. You know, two consecutive years that the SWAC is represented in the Celebration Bowl. We had a lot of shifting going on in some of these bowl games that are coming up and a whole lot more. But before we get into all of this, let's get you guys assessments and feedbacks from the Celebration Bowl this past weekend.
Yeah?
I was waiting on you.
But I didn't tell this about the bowl. I know one thing, I didn't really see the game, but one thing I took away from it was watch what you say.
Well, I know the first quarter, it was just a back-and-forth game, 0-0. Then Jackson State got going and went into the half 14-0. And then South Carolina State in the third quarter, they came back with a little fight, but just couldn't score. And then Jackson State just finished them off there in the fourth quarter. So that was my quick assessment of the game.
Okay. My assessment was total domination from Jackson State.
I agree.
Start to finish. What'd you say, Ben?
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what fight Jack talked about. I must admit that.
Well, what I think...
0-0 in the fourth, that's a little fight.
Well, no, it wasn't 0-0 in the fourth. What happened was...
In the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, 0-0. Right. Well, they did, South Carolina State got a little momentum. They did block a punt, right? And got a chance to score just before the half, but there was a pick six that was negated because of a penalty, which actually, in all actuality, Jackson State could have and should have, all depending on who you ask, been up 28-0 at the half. But they had two touchdowns that were taken back due to penalties. And that third quarter, South Carolina State tried to get a little momentum, but Jackson State just dominated, in particular in the second and fourth quarter. And it was Katie bar the door. And as South Carolina State tried to make a last-ditch run, Coach T.C. Taylor said, let's get them guys out and put them starters back in there, and let's shut this door. Then you have what you have. And what was so refreshing for me, and so just dumb, it's like I almost said something else, how these people, and I know Deion Sanders is a big name, but he had absolutely nothing to do with Jackson State's victory. In fact, Coach Taylor did something that Coach Deion couldn't achieve at Jackson State, and that's win the Celebration Bowl. Okay, and when you look at the work this man put in, I'm talking about T.C. Taylor, give that man his credit.
Yeah.
Separate him. He did the work. And what's more sweet even for me is that if anybody knows the track record, after Hendricks was relieved of duties from Jackson State, the natural progression of order was supposed to have been T.C. Taylor. However, due to the availability of getting a Deion Sanders and this and another, he was overlooked. And if the truth be told, T.C. Taylor was the one that laid the law of the land of how the SWAC operated to Deion Sanders to have the success he did have, along with his influence of pulling players over to get, that jump that they had. But with this team right here, because those that didn't leave with Deion went abroad elsewhere by way of the portal, this is this man's signature on it, and leave him alone and let him smell his roses.
Yes, I agree with that, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But I do have a question for you, though.
Uh-huh.
I have a question for you. Since Willie has left, do you think that TC Now, I know that the Jackson State people might not like it, so I apologize. But do you think that TC would be a good potential position coach if Willie came a college?
Depending on what position coach you're talking about, what the pay is, and this, that, and the other. I mean, yeah, I believe he would be a good position coach because he's a good coach.
Well, they said he was a quarterback. So, say, for instance, he was a quarterback coach. But I'm just saying if the money worked, and you remember, I think it was you or whoever it was that said when Willie left, instead of being responsible for the whole team, he was only responsible for the running back room. So if the money worked and he's only responsible for the quarterback room, would that be a good look?
I mean, it could be a good look, but you got to also understand that it's not necessarily about the money in that case, even though the money is going to be a contributing factor. It's about the opportunity to coach at the FBS level, okay? You got some coaches, believe it or not, don't desire that. They would rather stay in the SWAC or the MEAC or HBCU brand. That's where some coaches are, okay? I don't know that per se for T.C. Taylor, but what I can tell you, he's achieved everything that he can on this level by winning the conference championship, by winning the HBCU championship. So if he decided he wanted to go somewhere else, I couldn't blame him for that neither, but I don't think that would be his next move. I think he would be there for the fact that he won at home, being an alum. I think he would be there as long as he sees fit or until the tide starts turning the other way.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking his stock is probably high right now. It's probably
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's extremely high.
And so he could easily kind of do something similar to what Coach Willie did, go to a position, coach, and then possibly, move on because his stock is so high. That's the reason I am.
Mm-hmm. All things are possible.
Another coach stock that just went up is Fred McNair and getting into the SWAC Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. Well, just
I ain't know your stock go up for that, but okay.
Well, what I'm saying is the legacy not only of Fred McNair, but the McNair name in his relation to the conference, the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
So he went in the Hall of Fame for the SWAC or what?
Yes.
Okay, the only reason I asked is because I was thinking when Jack threw that out there, Coach Buddy Pugh, he went also in the Hall of Fame, and I was wondering was it the same one, but it's probably different.
No.
One SWAC, one MEAC. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. No, but no. So that is a great achievement for that, and it had me reflecting over the weekend when you brought up McNair. It doesn't seem like his brother Steve graduated in '95. I mean, when you look at it, that man played 14 years in the league, man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and it was like one of those subtleness, and I guess because he was close to our area when he got drafted by the Houston Oilers, who then relocated to Tennessee, and then he played a couple of seasons with the Ravens before he retired. But that was a sneaky 14 years, at least to me it was.
Yeah, and sometimes when you think of Steve McNair, it makes me wonder, we were losing so bad, we didn't even know what greatness was when they got off the bus.
Oh, well, I remember that game, and this is so crazy, man. He threw for 358 yards and 7 touchdowns or something like that against Prairie View when he came and played at Blackshear Stadium his senior year. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous, man, absolutely ridiculous. And he was connecting with one of the relatives, I could forget exactly where it was on the family chart, but he had his top receiver was Tim McNair. And, man, them dudes lit Prairie View. Well, they lit up everybody. And at the point, he started doing his Heisman Trophy poses when he scored touchdowns. And that's when he was on the real ESPN that you knew he was doing and had something special. When they would bring an ESPN game from a Blackshear Stadium or from a reservation at Alcorn, man, that was something special, man, something truly special. So congratulations to the McNair family in remembrance of Steve McNair. I want to do a slight pivot right now. We talked about this SWAC greatness and this historical HBCU legacies. Travis Hunter winning the Heisman Trophy, and his acceptance speech. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to it. And he did give a shout out to Jackson State.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, what I'm saying about that. It was nice that he gave that acknowledgement. That, you know, he said, hey, I want to thank folks at Jackson State. Okay. Now, just like Deion can't take credit for TC's success, JSU can't take credit for this Heisman success for this young man. I mean, yes, he started there, but come on, let's keep it in perspective. But what impressed me the most, and it hit me like an emotional ton of bricks, the two times I listened to it live, and I listened to it again on a repeat cycle, when the young man acknowledged his biological father.
Right.
And it did. He broke down. He thanked a whole bunch of people, and I don't know the full story. Maybe you guys know it or not, but he was talking about, you know, how his grandmother at 4 years old told him to go out there and play with the other kids in football. And from my reading in between the lines and the tea leaves, that was, I'm saying Big Mama, because that's what I used to call my grandmother. That's Big Mama way say, don't be hanging around these women. You go out there and play with them boys, you know, and you know, rear them up in a way of being you know, around of male dominance and strong figures. He gave a whole list of lines of thank you to coaches, taking them to and from practices, buying them cleats, this, that, and the other. But when he got to his father, and it made me think about my father and our relationship, myself and my sons and my daughter's relationship. And regardless of what they say, and these coaches or surrogate fathers to a lot of these young men that for whatever reason their fathers are missing in their lives. And I know that it's an impact on both men and women growing up without a father, but I think it's a really bit more psychological clout, if you would, knowing that their young man had his father or a strong male figure in his life.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because I think I heard it, you know, more than twice, but one reporter asked, you know, can you give some feedback? But it was kind of more of the negative, and he shut that crap down quickly. And then I thought it was interesting that someone posted, because it was almost like, and I really hate the time that we're in, is we're in that time where you can suggest a negative even if you don't know the answer. And so somebody posted that his dad was at home with his friends and he watched it. And so that kind of put an end to the narrative, if the narrative was, is his dad somewhere, and I'll just leave it that way. But the way the
incarcerated or something?
Yes, sir. But the way the video showed, his dad was at home, his home, grandma home, whoever home, and he was able to see it, you know, and he kind of cried and was emotional, but that kind of put a squash to the fact that, you know, where he might be. He chose not to be there for whatever reason. He chose it, but while he chose not to, it's still his blood that ran through the young man.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to make that point. Whether he was incarcerated, at home, in an alley, drunk, whatever, the man took the time to acknowledge his father, regardless of what the outside people, and even if it was a quote-unquote jacked up relationship, he still took time to honor not only his mother, but his father. And I thought
but
that
a lot of
really,
times whenever
really
there's something, but when something positive happens, sometimes people, and we'll just leave it at people, they want to always try to bring up or come up with some story that they might not know what the heck is going on. So I was glad that, like you said, he did it, and his dad heard it, and they can draw on those memories to grow continuously, you know, together, so forth and so on. But now it's interesting. I think that Jackson State could continue to benefit, but I also heard another story that, can you believe that at Jackson State, Walter Payton's number has not been retired?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Right. And so then when I thought of, you know, this could be a good moment to just retire the number 12, because this might be the closest that they might get to a Heisman Trophy. Now, I'm not saying that things can happen in the future, but I think to give him his due, I would, if I was Jackson State, and I hate to talk about money again, I would invite him back and, just say, hey, man, we appreciate your year of here, and we're going to grant you this. But it would be hard to retire number 12.
Let me gather what you're saying. You're saying they should retire number 12 in honor of Travis Hunter?
I think it could be a good gesture. I think so. But
if you haven't retired Walter Payton's number,
yeah.
But that's
why would you think about retiring? Why would you retire Travis Hunter's number?
But that's my point also. I still think it would be a good gesture, but it would be awfully hard to do that right now when you have not retired Joe Paredes. And he's one of, I'm sure there's some other great people in their history that you have not retired their numbers off.
I'm agree to disagree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I said I just have to agree to disagree with you on that. I don't think that even comes to the front lobe.
Yeah, I think they did. It was a
lobe.
shock to me to find out that they haven't retired Walter Payton. No.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only a shock, but somewhat a travesty. I guess I assume that, and maybe they have not officially retired. And I've never, to be quite honest with you, even checked Jackson State roster to see if they have a 34 on the roster.
I want to say, I'm not for sure that. No, that was not. I'm thinking of someone else. Not Barrett. Well, not Barrett there. Not Walter Payton. His son went to Miami, right?
Who? Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Yeah. I think he went to Miami. But I want to say before he went to Miami, he went to another school. But yeah, they asked pre-game. They were talking to TC and Ashley and so forth, and they acknowledged that his Walter Payton's number had not been, retired, so forth and so on. Yeah, but I totally agree with.
Yeah, doing a quick search, Jackson State does not have any retired numbers. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is all about.
Yeah. I guess it could be just the powers that be. They just have not done it, but they might be one of the few schools that have legends that they have not retired. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have Walter Payton. You have Jackie Slater.
Right.
Lim Barney. They have some Hall of Famers. Not sure what the holdup is.
No, but like I said, congratulations, Travis. But I can't have nothing to say about it. But you will not be getting your number retired. If they hadn't retired Slater and Payton, good joker, son. Yeah, whatever. That's not happening. They said next. Hey, I want to throw this out, Ben and Jack. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it, but we know that the dynamics have changed with these bowl games, this, that, and the other. They're going to have to do some reassessment here real soon. But Marshall, the Thundering Herd, they were scheduled to go up against Army, and I want to say the Shreveport Bowl or something.
Independence Bowl?
Yeah, the Independence Bowl. They get so many different titles and names, but Independence out of Shreveport. They actually had so many players opt out because you got to look at it. You got your recruiting, and you got to be in this portal by a certain time, unless you can't be claimed. And it's right in between these starts of these bowl games, and they just had the first wave of signings, this, that, and the other. But anyway, long story short, Marshall opts out. Louisiana accepts the role. What do you feel about these whole programs opting out and backing out of these bowl games?
Well, it was interesting about Marshall. They're saying that it wasn't even that they opted out. I don't know if they fired their coach or their coach left, but the players have transferred out. They're saying that, so it had nothing really to do about the it's a portal thing, but it was really more like a walkout.
No, but this is what I'm saying. With the portal window set the way it is, because if I'm not mistaken, and don't get me nailed to the cross on this one, there's a certain rule that you have to, declare for the portal before your next game. And right. And so these guys with the coach no longer going to be there, opting out so they can be available for their next location. And they're saying there's kind of a gray area on this impacting some of these bowl games that you have, because it's been a common trend of recent that the star player that's going to be going to the NFL, they opt out, let it be known, will not be participating. I'm thinking about Luther Barnes from Missouri, LB3. He made it be known, I will not be playing in Missouri's bowl game so I can prepare for the NFL draft. So I'm thinking it's along those lines of that window of making yourself eligible and then playing, because if you agree to play, then you're kind of locked in, if that's making any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
So is the suggestion is to move that date for the portal? Is that the solution?
You're going to have to. You're going to have to. You're really going to have to. But with them expanding, to the 12 teams and all this stuff that's moving. But long story short, these bowl games are losing their appeal.
Right.
And they're going to have to reassess and reevaluate what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And when I say some of these lesser known bowls, and a suggestion that you could do is they get together with some of these Group 5s and possibly some FCS programs, even though the FCS is on its own playoff system, but start creating bowl invites for those particular deals and just create a whole nother realm, if you would, because the Power Four is definitely going on their own journey, and with or without you. And so those who remain, you can kind of reestablish the pecking order of some of these bowls and get you another tier, if you would, for the Group 5s and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have more bowls than they had when I grew up. So.
No doubt. So, like you said, you got 47 bowl games. That's a lot of bowl games.
Okay, I thought it was about 50. I was going to say it's probably a bowl in every state. And while you laughing, some states have multiple bowls. You know that, right?
Oh, I know.
No, in the state of
we're
Texas,
in the state. I was just
they got the Alamo Bowl. They got the Alamo Bowl, the bowl in Houston, the one in Fort Worth, the one in Dallas, then the one in Arlington. Yeah,
right.
They got.
We're not counting the one in Fort Worth, though. We're not counting the one in Fort Worth. He got quiet. He got quiet on that one, didn't he?
No, the point I'm making is they have at least 5 bowls just in the state of Texas.
Oh, I know. And the point I'm making is nobody care about Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, well, we got more bowls in Missouri, so. And I bet you, and you know what? While you up there seeing it, veterans, he's not talking because it's a veteran bowl, so it's a military bowl. So for all those military veterans, we care about that bowl also.
Oh man! So,
but
like I said,
but since you threw that little slug, I want to throw this slug out there. Congratulations to that high school from Fort Worth that took down the mighty Duncanville Panthers. So, gentlemen, I'll be
North Crowley. You talking about North Crowley?
Yeah, I'll be headed up there this weekend, Jack, to support the Fort Worth.
Look, he can go to Fort Worth, but he can't come to Prairie View games and say he's the number one fan. Yeah.
Well, I've been to Prairie View games, so anyway, I'm gonna go with. Matter of fact, hey, listen, I'm gonna go with my Prairie View logo shirt on, and hopefully
you going up to recruit.
Hey, he's recruiting. Yeah.
Hey, 10 cap. We can't keep on making these mistakes, but I'm going up there to try to, at least make people think that I'm looking at some athletes.
So you gonna go old school with a notebook, or you just gonna like type your notes into your smartphone? What you gonna do?
No, I got me a little pad with a pen on it.
Okay.
But at this point, if the powers that be don't know they're a talent, that's shame on them. I don't know if y'all heard, but that game there was it was standing room only this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I heard
you're gonna have your Prairie View hat and your purple windbreaker.
No.
He gonna wear that purple suit. He gonna wear that purple suit when he was in the Usher.
No. I'm just gonna have my little my little gray coach's looking outfit with the Prairie View logo on there. That's enough.
He's going to show up with a whistle around his neck, Jack.
Yeah, I might. I might see if I can't find me a bronze one or a copper one like these I got.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Whatever I need to do to see if I can't get a kid to come to TV, because there are athletes in the North, and there was a bet that I won. There was a bet that I won on the weekend. Just one shot another.
What with me?
No, it wasn't. It was a bet that I told someone that all of the champions were gonna come from the North.
All of them?
All of them.
Okay. So it's one bet that all of them win.
Well, there's no teams from the North playing. I mean, from the South playing. Period. So it don't really matter.
No. But see, that's why I don't gamble, because what you said and what I heard was two different things.
Well, no, I'm still agreeing. I know what you tried to say. I'm agreeing that all of the teams that's going to win this week coming up will be from the North. But it's kind of hard to bet from people from Houston to say anything, because there's no team from the South that's even making it. Now, we got some from the West and we got some from the East, but I think the North is going to rule again.
Mm-hmm. And this bet was placed in the beginning of the season?
No,
When was it?
No. It was in when the playoffs started.
Oh, okay.
The North has always been kicking the South butt.
Yeah.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, bet at the start of the season. Don't wait till playoffs get here. If you got that much confidence in the North,
you don't know who's going to play.
No. You just said that when you said all the North, doesn't matter who's going to play.
Well, yeah, it's true. So I'm saying that the competition up there is better than the South. That's
why I say, why wait till the playoffs start? Yeah. That whoever coming from the North is going to go further than whoever comes from the South. We'll just bet like that.
I will say also, I know your friend, he don't like us to use this, but since he ain't on the show, he just listen. Oh, King Cap, there is a high school coach that's up there right now. His stock is on the rise also. He's from North Crowley. He's only been the coach there 2 years in a row, and they've only lost 3 games in 2 years. So when you're talking about building up a team, knowing the lay of the land in the North, that might be something that we might want to look at, because his stock is on the rise.
Now let me play devil's advocate just for a moment.
Oh, yes, sir. How we got to say devil, man? It's something different.
Okay, whatever. Let me oppose a different scenario.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just because you're having success in high school, okay?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
High school is a little bit more restricted than it is at a college, because high school basically, and quote unquote, whoever in your zone, that's where you can pick from your pool of the litter to build your program. But that's why I said quote unquote. But in college, of course, you have wider boundaries, of course, depending on your budget. How can you translate that success at high school would transfer over to a collegiate setting? Although it's been tried and guys had major success at high school, and they get to the college ranking regardless of the level, and it's a bit different. Just like guys who have a lot of success as a college coach, they see it's totally different when they get to the professional ranking. And there are guys who are awesome OCs and DCs, but it's different when they become an HC.
True. I think it's all a gamble. You and Jack don't put your money on the table as much as I think it would be no different than, when you take a Chennis Berry that went from a Division III or Division II and bring him on up. It's either he got it or he don't. And so then I think it's the same concept for some people in high school. Another good example, you look at one of my favorite quarterbacks, Teddy Bridgewater. He went back to Florida, and the high school that he went to, he took them to a state championship in his first year. So I think if you have whatever that is as a coach, as a person, then I think it can translate. But I do think also it doesn't mean everybody's going to be able to do that, but I do think, it can happen in some cases. That being said, I got another question for you. What do y'all think about, because his name is nowhere to be mentioned anymore, he was the quarterback from Jacksonville. He went to Pittsburgh, Prince, quarterback coach, and now I don't know where he is. You know what I'm talking about?
Quarterback coach?
Leftwich.
Oh, Leftwich. Uh-huh.
Do you think he would be? Do you think he would be a good? I'm just gonna say a HBCU coach.
I'm pretty sure he would, but the question is, does he want to be an HBCU coach?
Well, the point
anybody can be a good coach, and especially if they want to be at a certain place. Now, everybody has their motives and hidden agendas, right? So, I mean, everybody, and I'll put it like this: everybody that's coaching in the HBCU coaching doesn't necessarily want to be there. They're just there because it was something available because they want to coach. Now, you have some coaches. Now, we talked to Coach Northern. Coach Northern is a strong believer that he would prefer to be an HBCU coach. Coach Dooley, those conversations with him, he feels the same way. In the case of a Willie Simmons, you got to remember, came to the HBCU by way of de facto. Okay, he came in, he had success, took care of opportunities that were presented to him, but his desire was to always make it back to the FBS, and God bless him, he's made it back there.
Well, I guess I was just thinking of, at one point, he wanted to be a head coach, I think on the professional level, and it just made me think of over the weekend when I heard about Teddy Bridgewater. You haven't really heard anything about, Leftwich. It's almost like he fell off the map. So in situations like that,
you can say the same about Eric Bieniemy.
He got a bad shake, but it is what it is.
What I'm saying, he was under the umbrella of Andy Reid. He said, "Let me get out of there. Let me go to Washington." He go to Washington into what I consider was a dead man walking situation. Gets run out of there, then he goes to UCLA, and UCLA say, "What the heck is this?" And he's out the door there. So where do you think he got a bad shape?
Well, I think, again, like you said, Washington was just a bad situation. I think when he went to UCLA, they were probably, I don't know how many.
UCLA is trash, man.
Yeah, that's the point I was making. I don't know how many colleges it is in California, but they don't have the same Troy Aikman type mystique. They're probably at the bottom, and when you think of bottom in California, they've really fallen off, So to go there, what were they expecting? If you ain't, and I hate to say it, if those big pocket alumni wasn't putting some money on the table to get the right guys like the liar, I'm sorry, Coach Norton, you hate for me to say those truthful words, but get those guys like Reggie Bush, buy your mama a car, apartment complex, and all that kind of stuff. If you're not going to pay for it, what do you expect? You're not going to win. And so they put him in a situation where they had probably junior college type athletes, but you expect them to win with it. And it didn't work out for him.
Okay.
Coach Norris, I'm waiting for you to come on back, though. Man, I got a bunch of one-liners.
Little jabs.
There you go. You look like that little Chihuahua picking a fight with the Rottweiler.
No.
There's that bark.
Yeah. Well, that must be Jack. You over there talking about, that ain't me. Yeah.
So both of y'all acting like Scrappy Doo.
But the point is, I was just wondering. I think he would be a good. I'm not saying that Prairie View, but I'm just saying a good potential offensive coordinator, a good coach.
Well, let's face the reality, and we're gonna have to wrap this up pretty soon. Because I told Ben, you're not gonna lure me to no hour and a half conversation today. But
I just brought up the conversation.
So some people, if the truth be told, now we love our HBCU. Some people don't even want to look in the direction of an HBCU anything because they feel like it's beneath them.
Correct. Right.
And that's black, white, Asian, any ethnicity you can come up with. That's just the reality that we're in.
Right.
So you got to want to be there.
Right.
You got to want to be there.
Have you? Is there any word on Sandra Bland Lane? That has been thrown across the street, or is there a pigeon that's flying around? Saying anything or?
No.
All right. Okay. All right. Because we are in our third week. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I look at my neighbor. He is a person, and they got this calendar talking about the counting down for Christmas for their little kids. I think the alumni and the students and the athletes are trying to count down how long is it going to take.
So you say all I want for Christmas is a new head coach?
No, all I want for Christmas is my wish to come true. I want to be in Atlanta next year. That's what I want, to get to it.
Well, the head coach is going to be the one to lead you to Atlanta, sir.
Yeah, true. Did anybody, I'm just curious, did y'all see any numbers that came out as far as how many people attended?
Celebration Bowl?
Yeah.
Maybe Jack can scurry that up real quick.
Because I didn't really, it didn't look like a lot, but, you know.
Attended, it says 36,823.
Yeah, that's a little low, but once again, it goes back to that bowl impact. The bowl numbers have been down, period. You know, and these postseason games, that's why they're talking about reassessing the impact of these bowls and redirecting them, especially for those that don't have the natural impact of the playoff system. So it's a lot to be determined, man. So before you know it, gentlemen, after these bowls over, we'll be looking at basketball and still talking some football stuff and looking at this postseason for the NFL. My Steelers got their heads beat in. Thanks, Jack, by the way, for your Broncos helping us out to make that playoff spot. You know, so all is good.
No problem there.
All is good. You know, with that being said, we're going to wrap this segment up. Closing thoughts and comments from the gentleman. You right.
Hey, just one question for you, and I don't have no comments. We gonna me and you gonna do something on the Missouri game?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Jack. You can have the closing comments for today.
Yeah, my final word, kind of piggybacking on what Ben had just said. You know, going on 3 weeks, we don't have a coach. But looking at, someone had posted on Facebook that, you know, as far as the portal transfers, there's no action for Prairie View in the portal right now, and
we don't have no coach.
We don't have a coach.
We don't have no money. No, we don't have no NIL money, man. Come on, man. Okay, but I'm sorry. These your closing thoughts, Jack. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's speed it up so we can get some action in the portal.
We don't know if we're doing the
I thought you was
I
done.
Formation.
I thought you was done.
I'm coming on him.
No. You said you was done.
I'm done. I ain't saying that.
Okay then. Look,
right.
I love you, brother. I love you, brother. When he don't eat his oatmeal, this is what happens. When he got his cold cereal,
he get a little grouchy.
When Mr. West cook oatmeal, he all right. But when he got to eat that cold cereal, this is how he act. Leave the cold cereal alone, friend.
All right. Well, I gotta eat, man. I gotta eat.
Well, if I need to send you a Christmas box for oatmeal, just tell me. Because apparently this is how you act.
As long as it ain't that instant oatmeal. I don't want no instant oatmeal. I want the real stuff. Give me the real stuff and we'll be all right. I'll gladly take that box. Yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Ben, Jack, and Mike, we want to thank you guys for joining in with us. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter X at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network and visit our website for the 24-hour streaming content at obnradio.com. I must exit stage left for right now, but until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.